Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Akhandam Satchidanandam Avangmanasagocharam Atmanam Akhiladharam Asraye Bhishta Siddhai. May we be protected, may we be nourished, may we strive with energy and vigor, may our study be enlightening and not give rise to hostility. Om peace, peace, peace. Lead us to truth and not to untruth. Lead us to enlightenment and not ignorance. Lead us to immortality and not death. Let the self-manifesting Atman grow in me. Om peace, peace, peace. I take refuge in the self, the individual, the existence, consciousness, bliss, absolute, beyond the reach of words and thought, and the substratum of all, for the attainment of my cherished desire. So this is Jnana Yoga class, as we know. Jnana Yoga means through knowledge we attain the same goal, what we are here for. So it depends on our own experience. It does not depend on what other people say. We must experience. There should be three things that scripture also should say the same thing. Our rationality also confirms that. And third, we must be experiencing. Say, suppose sugar is, it is written that sugar is sweet. And then our rationality also should say yes, it must be sweet. But unless we taste, how does it matter? Whether it is sweet or sour or salty, how can we experience? So here we take first what is called Shruti. Whatever our scriptures have said. Here Shruti means Veda, Upanishad. Upanishad, what Upanishad said, that's our primary source of knowledge. Many things we don't know. Chemistry we don't know. So there must be a textbook. Similarly, where Washington DC is existing, so geography tells us, okay, it is there. And then rationality also, we can apply our rationality. Robust common sense. And that also should confirm. And the third is called experience. Shruti, Yukti, Anubhuti. Shruti means the scriptures, Upanishads should say this. And our rationality also confirms that. And the third is we must experience. So here we don't depend on somebody else's experience, what you experience or somebody else. It should corroborate with our own experience. Now, we have already gone through this, only last passage is remaining, but I thought it is better to have a glimpse of whatever we have studied in the last class. So let us go quickly and then we'll conclude today and then we'll break for Christmas. Break this class. Other classes will continue. So here what we are discussing here, Jivan Mukta Lakshana. Now, one thing is called Mukti, liberation. One thing is called bondage. Bondage means bound. We are bound. As of now, we have so many fetters. We have social binding, we have family binding, then we have bound with this body. Other things, say like I am a sannyasi, I left home. I left my country also. So small bondage can be removed, but I cannot jump out of my body. So body also has got some limitation. But here what is being said? While living, one is free. Jivan Mukti. Of course, devotees they don't like, and Mukti they don't like. What is required? A devotion. So that's a different attitude. So we are not going there. Here we are bound, social and political and this and that, so many hundreds types of bondage. But think of this: when you have no bondage at all, you are free. Whatever like situation that is, that must be uh, better or best, we can say. Because when we are in bondage, say suppose somebody enshackles you, puts in behind bar, it's miserable life. Even if somebody is feeding you, maybe sometimes, but still it is a bondage. Human nature is it seek freedom, freedom from all bondages. So here Jivan Mukti means one feels free while living. That's very important. So one thing is called Jivan Mukti, one thing is Videha Mukti. One gets rid of this body and then he is free. But this is the penultimate. While living, one should be free. So now are being described the characteristics of a man who is liberated in this very life. Now, what is Jivan Mukti? A man liberated in life, Jivan Mukta, is one who, by the knowledge of the Absolute Brahman, his own self, has dispelled the ignorance regarding it and has realized it. Now, as of now, what we think? We are bodies. But there is a way, is it I am the body? See, if you go to, I go to my ophthalmologist. So suppose, if somebody pinches you or say pricks something with sharp knife or something, we say, oh, I'm pained. But what she does, she puts the injection in my eyes. Eyes are most sensitive. So, how, if I am the body, if I am bounded or bonded by psychosomatic existence, then I would have cried. But what happens? Nothing happens, because she knows how to do it. First she puts something numbing, and then local anesthesia, the whole area is separated. What happens? In our brain we have various parts. So either that is numbed, or the vehicle by which the impulses are taken, that is numbed. So sensation does not go to my brain. So I am talking to her, and she is putting injection in my eyes. So it is possible. So what I am saying, that I am not the body. When we understand, under medical say treatment or say some chemical treatment, then we understand, no, I am not that body. So I talked to her and I said, I give you your example to her, and she's happy about it. Okay, so what I'm saying, that we can feel not only chemically, but even by logical analysis we can understand that I am not the body. Okay, let us think about it. Suppose someone is sleeping One can spit on his mouth. He won't be responding. And not only that, suppose someone has got uh, lots of debt, but when one is sleeping, he is not worried about it. So that means this whole world disappears. Even body idea also disappears in our sleep. So if something is intrinsic to me, how can how can I forget? I don't forget what I really am. It is all the time, it is shining. I am interacting with you. Interaction is later. First I must realize that I am somebody. So this way we can nullify, we can negate the idea of body, even idea of mind. In our deep sleep, the idea of mind also dissolves, or not dissolves, it absorbed in the ignorance. That is why we say, I slept so very well that I did not know anything. But you experienced it. Otherwise, you would not have related this, that I slept so well that I did not know anything. So you experienced what you experienced? Absence of objects. So this way we can deduct that this body is not me. This mind is also not me. Even this existence that we live, it is also not me. I am liberated all the time. So the person who knows this, a man liberated in life, Jivan Mukta, is one who by the knowledge of the absolute Brahman, his own self, has dispelled the ignorance regarding it, and has realized the self. Realize the self. As of now we have not realized. We have some notion, yes, I am there. But I am a conglomeration of body, mind and thoughts, emotions, lots of sentiments. So all this I am, as of now we recognize ourselves like that. So through knowledge one can nullify all those ideas. And he can know about his own real self. What we do in meditation? We concentrate on our chosen ideal. And by that process we forget ourselves. So traveling to that goal consciously, forgetting our body-mind complex, even our existence, consciously, that is meditation. We meditate on our chosen ideal, and chosen ideal is none other than our own self. We discover our real self. As of now, we have some notions, but on that notion we have various ideas. I am this and this. I'll say, who are you? I am Mr. Smith. I am Mrs. So and so. So all these are related to our body mind. But when we know our real self, then all the ideas go away. I am that self. I am self, and I am nothing else. Or later it will say, I am all pervading, I am everything. So, a man liberated in life, Jivan Mukta, is one who by the knowledge of the absolute Brahman, his own self. So absolute Brahman is not somewhere there. Where is the absolute Brahman? No, our own self, real self. As of now it is apparent, like in dream we are walking. So his own self has dispelled the ignorance regarding his own self. I have ignorance of my real self. That's why we say that no, I am a small person. Salpagya, Alpagyatva, and actually I am Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta Sabhava. Nitya, eternal, Shuddha, pure, Buddha, intelligent, and I am free. But it replaces by no, I'm here for temporary, for 70 or 80 years, 90 years. No, my existence will never be obliterated. Nitya, Shuddha, I am pure. As of now, no, I am impure. This idea is there. It doesn't mean that you go to bathroom and don't wash your hands. That's for physical cleanliness. That is in the beginning. But a time will come when you will see the whole world is mine, or I am the whole world. Then what is pure or what is impure? So Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Buddha. Buddha means whatever I am the awareness. In my awareness, everything is aware. Everything is aware in my awareness. So this is the way to realize that. So Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta, I am free. That this bondage will go forever. So a man liberated in life, Jivan Mukta, is one who by the knowledge of the absolute Brahman, again absolute Brahman is not outside there, his own real self, has dispelled the ignorance. The ignorance of what? His own self, his own misconceived idea, what he thinks. So he has dispelled that and has realized his own self, and who, owing to the destruction of ignorance and its effects, such as accumulated past actions, doubts, errors, etc., is free from all bondage and is established in Brahman. So last time I told that first we don't think about it. We think no, what I am, that is what. I am Swami Chandrasekharananda. You are Barbara or Elizabeth. We think we are Elizabeth. No, you are your real self. So first we don't think about it. Suppose we think, then we think it is impossible. First abhavana, viparit bhavana. And sometimes we think this is impossible. What is these mad people are saying? I am Brahman. How can it be? Some religion will say it is sacrilegious to even think about it. Only Vedanta teaches, yes, you are that ultimate truth. So, abhavana, viparit bhavana, asambhavana, it is impossible. And vipratipatti. And also, even if we understand in a different way. So, this is all the doubts will go, all the errors will go. Is free from all bondage and is established in Brahman. And we are not separate. What is that doubt? Whether the individual soul is separate from or identical with Brahman. This doubt also will go. And identification of body and the self, it will go. And Upanishad says, at that time what happens? The knot of his heart is broken asunder. Vriddate hridaya grantish chiddante sarva samshaya. All his doubts, all his misunderstanding, misconception, misconstrues, all this will, everything will go. The knot of his heart is broken asunder. All his doubts are solved, and his past actions are neutralized. As you get out of your dream, what happens? Suppose a Kruger was chasing you in your dream. You get out of, My God, what happened? Do you repent for that? Is Kruger there? Is it following? No, you are not afraid of it. Or suppose someone was punishing you, or you are in debt. You won't worry about it. It was a dream. So that happens. Vidyate hृदय ग्रंथिश छिद्यन्ते सर्व संशय क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि तस्मिन् दृष्टे परावले. Then he sees everything is me. Everywhere it is me and me alone. Then from whom to fear? From whom we should fear? Nobody. There is only one. Dvaitad bhayam bhavati. When there are two, then we are afraid of say, oh, what he or she is thinking about me. What will happen if he or she goes against me? All these ideas will go away. He who is high and low, cause and effect, has been realized. The Mundaka Upanishad says, Tasmin drishte paravare. Para and avar. Everywhere it is Brahman. Now, such a liberated man, so he is liberated. As Sri Ramakrishna, we can say. Sri Ramakrishna is an incarnation. We'll come to that. Incarnation is different. He is like a physicist, or like very learned, but he comes down to our level to teach us. Like, say, a doctor of science, he goes to a primary school and he talks to children like children and participate in it, so that to teach people. Avatara means incarnation of God is manifested to teach us. So Avatara is completely separate. What we are talking about, those who are aspirant and realize the soul or his own self. Such a liberated man, while he is not in samadhi, sees actions not opposed to knowledge. So, whatever actions is happening, Navadware pure dehi naiva kurvanna karan. He knows that I am only witness. Things are happening, so he is not involved. Sees actions not opposed to knowledge. This is a moot point, that knowledge and action cannot go together. Action requires duality, but knowledge removes duality. See, I cannot talk when I am alone. If I talk, people will say he is insane. So talking means I need another person. Or action means we need something else other than self. In knowledge, everything is merged in one. Then what? What action is possible? It's not possible. But this duality, even a person who has realized, he knows that everything is gone. He is not worried about what happened in my dream, in his dream. Not opposed to knowledge and taking place under the momentum of past impressions. So whatever happens in his life also, he knows that he is not doing. Past action is now fructifying. Under the moment of past impressions, like this arrow is shot, arrow will reach its destination and then stop. So anyway, that we have already discussed, but actions that have already begun to bear fruit, which he experiences through the physical body composed of flesh, blood and other things, through the sense organs affected by blindness, weakness, incapacity, etc., and through his mind subject to hunger, thirst, grief, delusion, etc. Yet he does not consider them as real, for he has already known their nothingness. As a man who is conscious that a magical performance is being given, even though he sees it, does not consider it as real. You go to movie, you see a movie, you know it is all false. But sometimes people weep and people grieve, sometimes laugh also. And when the hero and villain they are fighting, they also fight like holding identification with that. But if a person has not or gone beyond identification, that is not affected. So suppose I went to see a movie and then the boy was that Doctor Who got dissolved. They started weeping. Ah, Doctor Who is dissolved. So if a person identifies like a child, even they'll be afraid if there is fire. Oh, fire. But grown up man knows that it's all false, it is not real. Similarly, this world also, even when they are in difficult situation, they will that difficult situations will not affect him. Yasmin sthito na dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate. So they are in that state that even the worst calamities when come, he is not affected because he knows that naiva kinchit karomiti, I do not do anything. Yukta manyeta tattvavet pashan jigran ashnan gachan swapan shasan pralapan visrijan unmeshan nabi. Everything is happening, but he knows that I am only sitting in this city of 9 gates without any attachment or aversion. So he is living person, experiences come but he does not identify with them. Sa chakshur achakshuriva sakarno akarna iva ityadi srute. So though there are eyes, like when she puts injection to my eyes, or eye, not 2 eyes, 1. So as if it is not mine. So this is because of chemical action, but a realized soul knows that this body or eyes or ears are not mine. So sachakshu achakshuriva sakarno akarnaiva. Witness, Sasruti says, passages as, though he has eyes, he is as one without eyes. Though possessed of ears, he is as one without ears. Sushuptavat jagrati yo na pashyati. It has further been said, Upadeshasri, he who does not see anything in the waking state as in sound sleep. So, in sound sleep what happens? Maybe something is happening outside, but he is not worried. He is merged in sound sleep. Similarly, in waking state, a realized soul or realized self is not attached at all. As of now, you know that Middle East, lots of fighting is going on. Do you know that? Is it affecting? No. Okay, Ukraine, you know. Right? Russia and Ukraine, they are fighting there. Who is, who is aggressor, who is that we are not discussing. What I am saying, we hear that. Does it affect you? because you are not attached with it. But what happens if something, something happened to my computer, then, oh, my computer has gone bad. Because I am attached with it. So if it has further been said, he who does not see anything in the waking state as in sound sleep, who, though seeing duality, does not really see it, as he sees only the absolute. Scientists, they know, though they don't realize, they know that this whole world, whole universe, is nothing else but the ocean of energy. Everywhere it is energy. Say, we are seeing each other, right? We think that nothing is there in between. But scientists will say, no, 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 there are so many things. And the air is there, the various molecules, say nitrogen, oxygen, this, that. They'll make a whole list. Not in that, electromagnetic waves. You bring a radio, there are so many channels of radio. Bring television, so many channels of television, maybe 1,000. But we don't see it. So we think there is nothing. See, even now I can give you example. Is there light here? We don't say no. We say no. Bring a reflector, then you can see it is shining because light is here everywhere. So scientists will say that this whole universe is nothing else but an ocean of energy and energy alone. So they see that indivisible self or individual entity, not self. But they don't realize. They may fight for even parking lot. But it has further been said, he who does not see anything in the waking state as in sound sleep, who, though seeing duality, does not really see it as he sees only the absolute. So suppose a scientist, he knows everything is energy. He'll be dumbfounded. Oh, everything is energy. So he'll see absolute. Who, though engaged in work, is really inactive. Because he knows that he's not working. Naiva kinchit karomiti. I do not do anything. Yukta manyeta tattvavit. Knower of self knows that I am not doing anything. Though talking is happening. It's like nowadays AI, artificial intelligence. And they talk same thing, similar. And also robots, they'll come and say sweep and okay, bring me a glass of water. And it will bring. So the disciple, what you are saying? Oh, water, bring me. That means I should go and bring a glass of water. So similarly, it doesn't mean that a realized soul will become a say robot. No. Rather, he'll be detached. And he knows that the things are happening like robotics, AI. It is happening. See, as of now, so many things are happening. Blood is circulating, breathing is happening, exchange of oxygen and say carbon dioxide is being all these are happening. But do you think that? No, nobody thinks. Similarly, he knows that everything is happening, but he is not doing anything. Who, though seeing duality, does not really see it, as he sees only the absolute. Who, though engaged in work, is really inactive. Say, who is breathing? I am breathing, but I am not aware of it. Who is circulating blood? Mr. X is not coming to circulate my blood. It's me who is doing. but I am not aware of it. But there is a little difference. He is aware. His awareness only. All all things are for him. It is like a dream. He sees only the absolute, who, though engaged in work, is really inactive. He and none other is the knower of the self. This is the truth. So this is Upadesh Shastri. So we'll go forward, otherwise we'll miss. Asya Jnanat Purvam. So in the case of such a liberated soul, only good desires persist. Good desire means whatever is good for uh, the existence, or whatever is auspicious. Jnanat Purva Vidyamanam Meva Ahar Viharadim Anuvritti Manichana. Shubha Shubhayo Raudra. Okay. In the case of such a liberated soul, only good desires persist, as do his habits of eating, moving, etc. Because he was trained in that way. Say, a singer is so trained, he cannot sing otherwise. He'll sing only notes. Sa, sa. He'll go directly there. Or a dancer, this not like Western dance, classical dance. Say in India we have 7 kinds of dancing, all classical, and all are so perfect. When they learn for about 8 to 10 years, and they train in such a way. Even they try, they cannot have a false step. So, because this previous habits are there, whatever is good, only that will remain in him. So he cannot do any harm to anyone. In the case of such a liberated soul, only good desires persist, as do his habits of eating, moving, etc., which existed before the dawn of knowledge. Because he is so trained, Swami Virajananji Maharaj. So he trained everything, his body, mind, etc. And so even if like this, he will do this and cup should be there. If it is 1 inch away, he will say miles away. Okay, now I'll give another example. Like I close my eyes and I can play, because I know what notes are there. So it is because of my previous habits. So even hands will go like that. One day I was while singing, I was sleeping. So how I could know that? Then actually what happened, I missed one line or so. So then I realized, oh, I was sleeping. But hands were moving. Okay. So it is because of previous habits that whatever a realized soul does or experiences, all good. Because he trained himself like that, which existed before the dawn of knowledge. Or he may become indifferent to all good or evil. That's also possible. He knows that it's all in duality. Okay, we go forward. Thus it has been said, if a man who has known the truth of oneness acts according to his whims, when there is the difference, then where is the difference between a knower of truth and a dog? Ko bhedo ashuchi bhakshani. So like a dog can eat anything. Of course, not Western dog. When I was in Australia, so I gave a loaf. Then my colleague said, It will not eat. I thought dogs will eat, but it did not eat. Because even dogs are trained here what to eat. So, so in India, dogs, they are neglected. So whatever uh, they get, they eat it. So anyway, so if a realized soul does like that, then what is the difference between him and a dog? Thus, it has been said, if a man who has known the truth of oneness acts according to his whims means whatever comes. And even Sri Ramakrishna, there was one person whose title was Raja, king. So Sri Ramakrishna told him, people call him you Raja, but I cannot tell you because there's a falsity in his face. So he pretended that he has some other business, so he went away from Sri Ramakrishna's presence. So, you know, for him, it doesn't matter. It does not mean that he insults people. Okay, that is also not that case. But he is not shy away with telling the truth. Falsity, and maybe he might have noted some pride in him. So to break that, he must have told like that. So whims means not like as he wants. Whims means whatever he does, everything. This dancer, whatever they do, like everything is like a dance pose. Indian dance you can see. In temples also you can see. Various poses are there. So anyway, then where is the difference between a knower of truth and a dog as regards eating impure stuff? So it is not like that. He is highly evolved, and all other ideas of good, bad, purity, impurity, all have subsided in him. Further, one who has given up the conceit that he has realized Brahman is alone the knower of the self and none else. So in the Upanishad that we find that King Janaka declares, he who is knower of self can take these cows. So nobody was approaching, because if they say I am the knower of self, then he'll be caught in that oh, you have pride that you know Brahman. So Yagyavalkya said, he asked his disciple that we have so many Antevasi, that we have so many students in our Gurukula. Gurukula means school. But they used to live with Guru. So we need some cows. We need some cows. So take these cows. So what he said that we need this. He did not tell that that I am knower of Brahman. But that way he had to face all other say wise people. Oh, you think that you are Brahman? No, I need it. But you can ask any question. So he ultimately proves that he is knower of Brahman. But he did not claim. In Upanishad also it is said, he who knows, knows not. Because he has pride, number one. Number two, it is not a thing to be known. It's not an object. Subject. Do you say that I know myself? Nobody says. I know myself. It is a self-understood that I know myself. That's why I am talking. Anyway. Tadanim, after realization, humility and other attributes, which are steps to the attainment of knowledge, as also such virtues as non-injury, etc., persist like so many ornaments. So all these are, veterans. Veterans have so many medals. Eh? So they hung on the chest or sometimes on arm also. So that means they have realized. So similarly, all these are ornaments for him. So Sri Ramakrishna is praised as, in Arati, you can see Arati. Khandana, Bhavavandhana, Jagabandhana, Banditumai. All his qualities. Niranjana, Nararupadhara. You are untainted, but you have taken the form of human being. So all these are ornaments. Veteran. After realization of humility and other attributes which are steps to the attainment of knowledge, as also such virtues as non-injury, etc., ahimsa, persist like so many ornaments. Taduktam. Thus, it has been said, such qualities as non-violence, ahimsa, etc., ahimsa, uh, satya, ahimsa, brahmacharya, aparigraha, then achaurya, etc., and then shaucha, santosha, tapah, swadhyaya, ishwar pranidhan. These are qualities, various qualities. So, one who is practicing music, hmm, so every notes he should practice correctly and for particular way. After realization, he uses those same very things, but in a perfect way, so that a particular emotion comes, raga. So, thus it has been said, such qualities as non-violence, etc., come spontaneously to a man who has got self-knowledge. They have not to be sought after. It is natural in him. Nishkarma Siddhi. So, even this idea of I am not working, it should be spontaneous that I am not working. It is not that when we read, then only I say, hey, I am not working. No. It is spontaneous. Kim bhunayam now comes. In short, such a man's soul remains as the illuminer of the mental states and the consciousness reflected in them of his body, happiness. No, sorry. In short, such a man's soul remains as the illuminer of the mental states and the consciousness reflected in them. So he illumines like his sun. In the light of sun, everything is happening. We get up in the morning, we go to office, then we come tired, and then we eat and sleep. In short, so all things are happening because there is sun, there is light. Similarly, everything is being illumined. In short, such a man's soul remains as the illuminer of the mental states and the consciousness reflected in them. So whatever is happening, everything is lighted. Experiencing solely for the maintenance of his body. So when he is in body, because he is fully aware, things happen but in a very uh, with his awareness. It is not something non-existent. Buddha uh, theory is everything is momentary. Kshanikam, kshanikam, sarvam kshanikam. Even the self is also momentary. For them, anatta. Anatta means there is no self. Because everything is momentary. But here, Vedanta says, no, no, no. Who says that it is momentary? Who says that it is momentary. That must be there. Say, Buddha got nirvana. So nirvana, he did not disappeared. Even to experience nirvana, one should be there. Some entity should be there. Someone. The doubter must be there. The thinker must be there. So thinking will disappear, but that entity must be there. In short, such a man's soul remains as the illuminer of the mental states. So mental state is happening and he is illumining. Like sun illumines everything. In its presence everything happens. That's why we worship sun. Of the mental states and the consciousness reflected in them, experiencing solely for the maintenance of his body, happiness and misery, the results of past actions that have already begun to bear fruits, prarabdha karma, and have been either brought on by his own will or by that of another or against his will. So whatever happens, somebody came and kicked Sri Ramakrishna. That otherwise we would not have given this example. But he knew that it is mother who is playing all this. So many times it happens that we are insulted. But know for certain it is all ordained by mother. Mother, by the will of God. And it is because to suffer out prarabdha karma and have been either brought on by his own will or by that of another or against his will. After the exhaustion of the prarabdha karma, his vital force is absorbed in the Supreme Brahman. When everything is exhausted, what happens? When river goes to the ocean, then it enters nama rupa vihaya. Name and form is gone. What is a river? River is a mass of water contained in two banks. But when it reaches the ocean, then no name or no form. We don't say, oh, this water is from Columbia River and this is from Willamette River. We don't say. Because their water is water. Name and form is dissolved there and have been either brought after the exhaustion of the prarabdha work, his vital force is absorbed in the Supreme Brahman, the inward bliss and ignorance with its effects. So, even ignorance with its all effects, all evolutes will disappear, is destroyed. Ignorance with its effects and their impressions is also destroyed. So, ignorance means what? Whatever we see, it is all because of our ignorance. Even body, mind, mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar, 24 cosmic principles, 5 elements, 5 senses, 5 organs of actions, everything these things are the effect of ignorance, result of ignorance. So all these will get destroyed. Then he is identified with the absolute Brahman, the supreme isolation, the embodiment of bliss, in which there is not even the appearance of duality. Now the last. So now let me give some examples. What it means. When say there is a pitcher. There is a pitcher kept in the ocean, this Pacific Ocean. And the pitcher is broken. So what happens? Before that also he knew that outside it is water, inside also water. But when the pitcher is broken, does it go from that place to another? No. The river, we can say, okay, it is merging there. But in the case of pitcher, the water outside, water inside. So a person who has realized the self, he knows that outside it is the same self as inside. And then this body is a pitcher, breaks away. So where does it go? It doesn't go anywhere because it merges in its own self. That's why natasya pranaha utkramanti atraiva samavaniyanti vimuktascha vimuchyate. So Kathopanishad. So what it says? Compare such Shruti passages as his sense organs do not depart elsewhere. Even nothing goes anywhere. He is already realized. After your dream or nightmare is over, what happens? Nothing happens. You are not affected by it. So even when the pitcher is broken, water does not move from there to somewhere else. Because already he is realized. Only the outer shell is broken. Compare such Shruti passages as his sense organs do not depart elsewhere for transmigration. See, in our case, what happens? We leave this body and then we find another body. And then we again are reborn. They are absorbed in him. Already in a liberated soul, he is freed from further rebirths. So natasya pranaha utkramanti atraiva samavaniyanti and vimuktascha vimuchyate. The person who is already liberated, he is liberated. Already a liberated soul, he is freed from further rebirths or he is liberated. There is nothing more. And Sri Ramakrishna gave example of Makaradhwaja. Makaradhwaja in ancient time, they used to make medicine in Ayurveda. So how they used to do? Say there is a formula. So aloe vera and then kind of purified sulfur, 160 gram. Then gold when it is burnt. So kind of remains that the whatever remains. So 40 grams. And then mercury 80 grams. So when it is mixed up and they put in a earthen pot and then they burn it and keep there in a slow oven. So after certain time when it is ready and the chemical reaction is over, then they break that container because the material is ready there. Similarly, Sri Ramakrishna gave example of this Makaradhwaja. So when the content, whatever is contained here, when it is ready, then a time comes when this outer body, outer shell is broken. And the doctor will come and break it. So what happens, even Sri Ramakrishna gave another example. Rope, a big one, but it is burnt. So from outside you can see that is a rope, exactly same way. Even you can count its threads. But if you try to bind it with it, it cannot bind. So shape remains same, but By that there will be no further bondage. Then again, bharjita bijavat. Like if you sow a seed, it will germinate and make a tree or whatever plant. But if you fry it first, then what will happen? Nothing. So their seed content is already fried. So previously I said they are different from Avatara. Avatara, what he does, after he's realized, but out of compassion for ordinary people, they come and incarnate and try to teach. But even then, we don't want to learn anything. So many incarnations came. But we say we are wherever we are fine here. So anyway, so they are different from the incarnations. Means the aspirants when they reach the ocean, their work is over. Or when the container, pitcher is broken, his work is done. Eki bhavati. He becomes one with the self. Then there is there is nothing to bind him to bring back to this world or reincarnate. Reincarnation or rebirth happens when we have some desire to fulfill. Even I want to go somewhere, I want to taste this food. These are also various desires. So that's why incarnations keep a little. What Sri Ramakrishna kept? Any idea? He said, I want to become king of devotees. So he became king of devotees. He used to bring his mind down by saying few words. I would like to drink water. So little desire. So that would bring his mind down. Holy Mother's life is very interesting. After the passing of Sri Ramakrishna, she wanted to leave this world. But Sri Ramakrishna put Radhu for her to remain in this world. So all the time, people would see that mother is every time mother is for Radhu, Radhu, Radhu all the time. But at the last or at the end time, when mother wanted to depart, then she was no more interested in Radhu. So detachment is very important. Natasya prana utkramanti atraiva samaviliyanti. And avatara, they come and they live here like dry leaf in a gale. Sometimes you can see nowadays lots of leaves are there. Sometimes it's here, and then they move forward, and then Swami see cleans there, again it falls. So this is, now we have completed. Compare such Shruti passages, Natasya prana utkramanti, as his sense organs or prana, vital forces, do not depart elsewhere for transmigration. Atriva samavaniyante, they are absorbed in him. Already a liberated soul, he is freed from further, he is totally free. Vimuktascha vimuchyate. Anyway, thank you very much. Any question? Akshay? Oh, এসেছিল তারপর চলে গেছে। ওকে,
Pranam Maharaj.
নমস্কার নমস্কার। Okay, now we'll have a break. Eh? Anything? Okay. Okay, we say our prayer.
Pranam, scorcher of leaves.
Eh?
Pranam, O scorcher of leaves.
Oh yeah. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tatsat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Thank you very much. Thank you. Uh,
Sorry.
and now we'll break for Christmas. Means this class will be will not hold this class any more. Means in this session, and then we'll eh? Yeah, new topic in New Year. That time we can have a little recapitulation.
What about tomorrow's class? No class
Tomorrow, no, no.
tomorrow?
Tomorrow class will be there. All other classes
Mm.
will be continuing. You please see our
Okay.
calendar.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma.
Jai
Purnamada
Ma.
Purnamidam
Namaste, Jama.
Purnat
Jai
Purnamudachyate
Ma.
Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. जय श्री गुरु महाराज जी की जय। जय महामाई की जय। जय स्वामी जी महाराज जी की जय।